Good morning, how are you today? I hope you've been well. We have another really hot and humid, dark autumn day today. And normally on rainy days, I opt to stay in and do like things that are not productive. But today I have errands to run. So I figured, let's chat, let's get ready together, and I'm gonna be using autumn colors for a glam look. I haven't done a glam look in a minute. I've been doing a lot of, like my summer was mainly body painting, graphic eyes, a lot of skincare stuff, because the seasons change and your skin gets weird. But I miss makeup. I miss normal fun makeup, so let's get started. I've already prepped and primed my face. I've been using the MERCIER Pure Canvas Primer. I've been using this recently. I like it a lot. It is very matte and very smooth. It is silicone free and it's worked so well for me. So I thought I'd mention it here. My standard foundation has become the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup. I'm still a very light shade. It doesn't really match my body because I tanned a lot over the summer, but it is such a good formula. And in combination with my skincare, my primer and everything, it looks so good and it lasts so long. It lasts so long. But yeah, I feel like these kinds of videos are the more personal ones. A lot of the times when I get ready, I do put on people that are just getting ready and I get ready with them. I'm kind of excited that I get to use autumn colors today. I feel like burnt oranges and purples and stuff, mauves are my favorite colors. But I never get to wear them because I always wear nude makeup. I always just go for classic nudes, cool nudes, and autumn I feel like is a time I can get away with not doing that. I mean, and summer as well, but autumn, it just feels different, you know, because the world looks like the makeup that you want to wear. The good thing about this foundation is that it's medium to buildable coverage. It covers what you want to cover and it's still not cakey. Although I am second guessing my decisions today, it is really hot. Okay. My concealer is still the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. It continues to be nice, it continues to work, it continues to cover what it has to cover. No need to change that here. For some reason today, I'm a lot redder than usual. That's okay, we got it, we got this. Is that better? I feel like it's better, I can see more. My setting powder is the same as always, the Laura Mercier Translucent Ultra Blur Loose Setting Powder. All of these products have so many words in them. The good thing about this product as well is you only need a light dusting. You don't need a whole lot of product for it to blur. It just kind of does it lightly, which is nice because it preserves the product as well. With my bronzer, I keep trying to do different shapes lately just to see how I look in them. It's still the NARS Matte Laguna bronzer. I'm still using that. But normally I bring it up. It just feels like the bottom half of my face looks too big if I bring it up. And if I bring it down, it looks like I'm very stern. So I'm not too sure. See, when I blend it out, I do blend it onto the top points of the cheekbone. Using my NARS blush, which is the Dolce Vita, which I really, really like now. I used to be like, whoa, it's too pink, but I've grown a liking to it. Excuse me. So, that's rude. Yeah, and a brush that I got from Mecca Max. I barely touch the apples. I concentrate it up here on my cheekbone still, because, you know, I mean, when you're a certain age, I say that. I'm not a certain age. I'm still very much a little less than certain age. But I do like it better than the trend where it's just on the cheeks. I don't feel like I'm young enough to pull that off. Blush is typically the first thing to disappear off your face, so you want to apply more of it, so then as it disappears, it looks more normal. But then when you look in the mirror, it's kind of shocking, like, am I that pink? Eliminating any harsh lines, we've got enough. Alright, so next up we have eyebrows. I'm using the Benefit Gimme Brow Gel Wand thing. Again, my eyebrow routine is not revolutionary because I have eyebrows. And this one is missing some front hairs because I was distracted when I was fixing them. Alright, look, what happened was I didn't have my air conditioning on, it was great, everything was fine, and then it got too sweaty. So now you're gonna hear the sounds. It's alright, it's fine. I'm going in with the Naked Heat by Urban Decay because it's nice. Let's use He Devil. What does He Devil look like? He Devil is this one here. So I'm going in with a fluffy brush by Real Techniques. This is one of the ones that comes in the eyeshadow brush kit. tapping lightly into He Devil, I want to create sort of a classic eye. Focusing that on the outer V of the eye, bringing it up towards the brow bone because I have a semi-hooded eye. And when I open my eyes, I want to be able to see the color. And in swipey motions, making sure to buff that out as much as I can. I bring it out into a triangle shape. Because I wear winged liner, I do try to mimic that shape. Like, I'm not going to have a round shape shadow when I'm going to do a line. I'm bringing that just underneath as well. I might use different colors underneath, but just so I can get my grounding. This is the initial shape I'm going with. And I'm going to smoke that out pretty far and pretty high, or else you won't see it. Like, when I open my eye, you can barely see it. You just kind of have to imagine that it's there. And with whatever product was left, just buff out that bottom part. I'm not doing it across the whole part of the under eye. But again, like, I don't mind if it pushes out to the inner part of it. I am mainly focusing it on the outside without adding any more product, just buffing it to make it blend nicely. I'm next going to use a pretty chunky pencil brush. Not pretty, it's chunkier than my other one. It's just not the chunkiest. I'm coming up with a lot of looks based off the colors that I'm not using today, which is actually pretty cool. So I'm using Ashes, which is this color here, this purple. And I'm using it as a faux liner for the moment, but I am bringing it up as a V. Sort of refine that V and curl it in. Curl it in the sense of I rounded that off to join it together, and I am now dragging it out. I'll be using a smaller brush in a second. I'm just getting the shape together. And I'm going between back and forth motions and swirls just to even out the blend as much as I can. And I am bringing it up again so you can see it when I'm done. And with that brush that I used before, I'm going to just soften out that blend over the top here into the previous color. So not blending out what I just did, just blending out the top of it. And with whatever residue, bringing out what I can from that color as well. Okay, yeah, I'm adding a little more He Devil to the top part of that shadow because I think I always fall into this trap where if I'm going somewhere, the look ends up turning out really basic because I'm going somewhere. Like, I'm going out to do errands, so I don't need to be wearing sparkly, glamorous makeup, but I think I just subconsciously end up doing it like that because I'm just, it's an errands day. I think I might go in with Scorched, which is, I've never used it before actually. This color here. Is it that one? Yeah. So this color here, with the same brush that I've been using to blend out He Devil and everything, going to Scorched, and I'm gonna add it to the lid, not exactly the entire lid, just closer to the end of it, blending it into that dark purple and adding a bit of something. Not too much, just like a midway point, and if it's not enough, I'll add a different one. It appears it's not enough. Okay, let's do Ember. Ember is this one. And it's dark and sparkly, and you can't really tell. I know there's like an unspoken rule for, you know, you're not supposed to put sparklies in the outer V's, and you're supposed to keep that matte, and I don't know who invented that rule, because it doesn't make sense. Sparkly on the outer corner is fun. So that's Ember. I don't know how it's going to read on camera, but in the lights it looks really dope. Now I'm going to use my Zoeva fluffy brush. And the color Ounce, I'm going to really go ham in this color. Color Ounce, this one here. And absolutely smother that inner corner, bringing it out to the lid. So this is going to be the color between that I didn't want to bring the dark one onto, but I think I brought it on anyway. This is going to be the color to blend that into the light. I usually apply this one in circular motions just to ensure it gets everywhere. And with no additional product, that same fluffy brush from before, just to dab out any excess that has flown over to the dark side. Above the lid and on the lid as well. We're trying to blend these together nicely. Under the lid, I'm going to go in with the same pencil brush that I used before with Ashes, and I'm going to use Fuego. And that's going to blend into Ashes. And I'm going to blend that and buff that out, the entire under eye and a little bit lower, because, I mean, if you don't know, I like an extra dramatic under eye buff. Why? It hides the tired. It hides the eye bags. So after I do that, I am going to use Ashes again, just to join the outer V's together and to make that look more unified. Although I did go a bit overboard here, so I'm just going to... This is my brush that I use to conceal. And with no actual concealer, I'm going to shape this out properly. So yeah, Ashes under the eye just to join it in with the outer V. I know depth and dimension are said exclusively throughout this video, but that's why we do it. We're gonna do a winged liner because we just do that here. That's why we're here. And I'm gonna go in with the KVD tattoo liner in Trooper. I hope I have more of this left. Last I checked, this was finished. From under the eye, I go under the eye from the bottom waterline outward. I'm gonna have to make today's eye a little extra long because I've elongated the shadow. And then where this crease is here, I don't know if you can see it, there's a crease here, that's where I go to. So let's pretend we're joining lines. We join the line that I just made, the top of that line, to the end of the tail of the wing. And then from this line, I bring it down to just after the center of the eye. And I fill that in like that, that's my wing. And from in the waterline to then above the waterline, very close to the lash line, just to make sure that I reach this height. And if I accidentally slip, like I just did, pull it higher. Why not? We're already wearing glitter to go run errands. With my Makeup Forever Aqua Resist color pencil, I didn't memorize that, I'm reading it. I can never. I'm lining the inner waterlines, both of them, but the bottom one, keeping it from the center of the eye out. I'm going to use another angled brush. I have like 4 angled brushes. Tapping into that color Ashes, and just like the length of the brush is going to be all I apply from the end of that wing and dragging it out to the center of the eye. And then from that point outward, underneath the wing, just to blend it all together, because I don't have a black. I'm not going to use a black with this look. With the smallest pencil brush that I have, I'm going into that color Ounce again, the lightest color I used from before. And I'm running it underneath the inner corner and above the inner corner as well to blend that together and make that look unified too. And it is a nice highlight. So it does go above the brow bone as well. I'm using my finger and flipping you off, I'm sorry, just on the top of my lip. We're out of lash glue, so no lashes. But I am going to dramatize with mascara. I'm using the Bobbi Brown Smoky Eye Mascara. I got this as a sample from a beauty box from Mecca. And since I've run out of the Better Than Sex mascara, I've been using this one. It's not bad. It's not Better Than Sex, but it's not bad. The problem with this mascara, like, it's fine. There aren't really any revolutionary mascaras other than the Better Than Sex one, but I feel like this one is dry. Like, it's always felt sort of dry. Sorry, I forgot to finish the sentence. I will say, the reason mascaras are never revolutionary for me is because I have pretty long lashes anyway. So mascaras, they just do the same thing. The Better Than Sex one was revolutionary because it's meant to make smaller lashes better than sex. So it made my lashes better than that even. For lips, I don't want to go in with a lip liner. Do I? Alright, I'm going to use a touch of the Frank Body lip balm just to... I have dry lips. Just a touch of it, just so that the lip liner slides and doesn't catch onto my lips and make my lips look crusty. I'm using the Stone Lip Pencil by MAC. For a more detailed version of this, I'm going to put my lip contouring video in the card, so you can watch that and understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. But for today, I'm just doing the outer V. I'm not doing the Cupid's bow, I'm not lining underneath it, you'll see. This way I can create a decent lip shape and have some depth and have some light and, you know, make these lips look a little fuller. So the lip liner itself ultimately looks like this. And because I've put on the lip balm underneath it, I've been able to blend it pretty evenly by pursing my lips together, which takes a lot of effort out of, you know, the whole thing. The lipstick I'm going with is by MAC. It's called Blankety. This has become my staple always lipstick. I bought this, where are we now? We're almost in April. Okay, I bought it in January for a wedding and it's like flat. And I typically apply this in the center of the lip first and let it blend out naturally. And then if I feel like I need more, I do put some on the outer corners. Most of the time I do this, but just kind of lightly, like a light tap. And then I press my lips together and I blend it and it's all nice. Only because we want that depth in there. So the only way to keep that depth in there is to not overbear it with how much lipstick I'm using. So it's just a light layer of that on the corners. And the majority of the lipstick is in the center, upper and lower lip. All right, last steps, Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish, is that what it's called? Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. It's interesting, like, all right, what I'm noticing is the colors that I'm using look different to me. They look different in real life, but on camera, oh wait. All right, people are going to work and it's gonna be loud, but we're gonna ignore it. Yeah, what I'm finding is, although the colors that I'm using are different, and I'm seeing them as different, and I feel very autumny and very shimmery, on camera, I don't think they read that way. So I'm thinking either the Naked palettes are called Naked specifically because they are still nudes. I mean, I always kind of figured that anyway. But I think maybe it's time to invest in some, like, I know Huda Beauty have bright colors. Dior have some bright ones as well. Not bright, but like pigmented bright as opposed to natural bright. So I might broaden that range a bit. I've tried to use all the palettes that I have just to kind of be more versatile with looks. But in terms of creating looks, I feel like I might be at a disadvantage with natural base colors, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to do some research on different products. I know Mecca, I don't know how many people in the world have Mecca, it might just be Australia. But I know Mecca Max have beautiful pigmented palettes that are like this big, and I might try one of those as well. Because I wish you could see it how I'm seeing it. It looks autumny and nice. But in my monitor, it's looking very neutral and bland. So I'll get on that as soon as possible because it's a shame. All right, to top everything off, I go back in with my Laura Mercier powder and I blot over any bits that they're not, are they shiny or are they just healthy? Because I don't feel oily. It's not oil, but I like matte look, at least for now. Okay, so this is the final look. I am going to go and invest in more colors because it is a shame. This feels very autumny in my mirror, but I don't think that's how it's translating in the camera. So I'm going to do some research on that. The ways the makeup was applied is still valid. So if you do have more pigmented shadows and you want to follow this look, it probably will look better. This, in my monitor, looks sort of muddled into one color. It could be the shimmer I used, but I don't think so because I've got depth in it and I can see it in my mirror. But because autumn is my favorite season, I do take advantage of using more oranges, paprikas, purples, mauves. I love those colors the most. So autumn might be packed full of stuff like that. I know it's spring for the majority of the world, but I don't care. It's autumn here. All right, I'm gonna stop rambling. It's time for me to go. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.